How's it going, guys? Rob here, and I'm back once again with another response video to Chucky doll. And he wanted me to do my top 14 favorite shark films, and I can't really do that because I'm not a huge fan of shark films, especially some of the stuff they put out today. I just don't really care for them. I couldn't even come up with my top 10. So what I decided to do is list my top 5. I have 3 honorable mentions here. But like when it comes to shark films, it just seems like most of them are low budget, independent, films where it's like a two-headed shark or like an avalanche shark or a sand shark or atomic shark or lava shark or something like that. It's like stupid stuff. Sharknado. To me, it's like the shark has to look at least halfway decent for me to even care about it or even like it. And it has to have at least an entertaining story or situation. And the ones that I picked definitely have that. But yeah, so Chucky doll, I'm sorry, I can't do top 14 or even top 10. I'm going to do my top 5. So first, let's talk about the honorable mentions because there's only 3 of them. Let's get those out of the way. So sit back and enjoy. First one is Deep Blue Sea. Deepest, bluest, my hat is like a shark's fin. Deepest, bluest, my hat is like a shark's fin. LL Cool J's the man. This is directed by Rennie Harlan, and call this a guilty pleasure. I remember going to the theater to see this, and I liked it. But you got Samuel Jackson, and you have Thomas Jane. Like I said, LL Cool J. So like these sharks escape from this facility out in the middle of the ocean. It's like an underground facility, and these sharks are smart, and they run rampant on this facility underwater, and the scientists try to escape. We're not gonna fight anymore. I love this movie. I love it. The next one is The Meg. Now, I will say this. This movie surprised me on how good the shark looked. Compared to some of these other Megalodon films that are kind of like those low budget, like I mentioned earlier, the low budget shark movies where the shark just looks like a cartoon or like, like a 5-year-old tried to animate a shark. And that's basically what it looks like with some of these. This one actually looked like someone sat down and took their time on, making the shark look good. And there's a lot of detail. It's a huge Megalodon shark. And like I said, compared to some of these other ones, this is actually good. Jason Statham's in this, and there's a lot of ridiculous moments where Jason Statham is going against this big shark. He's out in the water, and he's like doing flips and stuff. It reminds me of Thomas Jane going against a shark here. It reminds me of Deep Blue Sea. That's what this movie reminds me. It's just mindless fun, and that's how I viewed this. So, yeah, that's all it is. Last one here is Jaws 3. Out of the 4 Jaws films, the 4th one I can't watch. I will not watch it. I don't like that movie. I don't care. The story's stupid about a shark getting revenge on the Brody family. Stupid as hell. This movie at least had something going on, even though it wasn't the greatest thing. Call this a guilty pleasure of mine. But I do like Dennis Quaid. It's got Lou Gossett Jr. in it. I think Leah Thompson's also in this, where the shark goes to SeaWorld. And, there's like the baby shark too that gets captured, and then the mama shark wants to go after these people inside the park. The 3D is really horrible in this film. But I do like some of the kills. I do like some of the situations. And yeah, so yeah, like I said, call it a guilty pleasure. It's definitely not as good as the first 2. Alright, so those are my honorable mentions. Let's get on to my top 5. Starting with number 5, Open Water. Now this movie surprised me. I didn't think I'd like it as much. Just basically 2 people stuck out in the middle of the ocean because they were going diving with a bunch of people on a boat. They did a head count, and when they came up, out of the water, the boat was gone because some idiot on the boat counted wrong. But yet their stuff is still on the boat. It's underneath the bench, and no one cared to even look until like days after. Then all of a sudden, oh my God, I messed up. We better go out and look for them. But these two are stuck in the middle of the ocean, and that has to be the scariest thing. When I think of horrible ways to die, I mean, burning to death would suck. But honestly, floating out in the middle of the ocean, waiting for something to grab onto you or eat you alive, is probably one of the worst fears I've ever encountered in my mind. I just can't bring myself to understand what it would be like. It would be terrifying. I'd probably die of shock. That's what I do. I'd sit out there and start screaming like a girl. Not knowing what's swimming underneath my feet, me not being able to see, especially when it's pitch black. They're out there, and it's nighttime. It's storming. They can't even see what's swimming underneath them. They get bumped. Who knows what's bumping them? Sharks show up. It's crazy. It gets really crazy. There's these stupid transitions though. When it transitions from the scene where they're stuck out there, then it transitions to a scene where there's people on a beach, and then it plays this weird music, and then it goes back to them out in the water. Minus that, this is a really, really good film. You really feel for this couple. You really feel for it, and it's kind of funny sometimes too. They're arguing. They're like, well, I wanted to go here. If we would have went there, we wouldn't be stuck in this situation, and blah, blah, blah. Just like what a real couple would probably do if they were stuck out there and they were, trying to blame each other and I don't know. I liked it a lot. Coming in at number 4 is Jaws 2, an amazing sequel. A sequel that no one talks about. This movie, no one ever talks about it. And it's a shame. But, you got, John Williams did the music, but you got Murray Hamilton in it, Lorraine Gary, Roy Schreider is in this, and he basically goes after this shark that is terrorizing his son with a bunch of his friends that are on boats tied together, and they're afraid to move because this shark is terrorizing them. And, Chief Brody comes to the rescue, and he has to, fight this shark off like he did in the first movie. Really, really good sequel. And, a lot of people are like, well, it doesn't make sense. The shark gets burned and he still comes after people. It's it's a movie. Come on. I thought that was cool. Number 3 is The Shallows. Blake Lively. She was the best part of the movie, let me tell you. This movie also surprised me. Has great music. The cinematography is out of this world. I love the part where she's on her board and she goes under the water and it shows her going above the waves and stuff. That was great. And she basically has to survive this shark that has her trapped. She's out on this rock in the ocean, and this shark is basically circling her and testing her. And, she's hurt really bad, and she has to find a way to survive the elements. But not only that, is to try to survive the shark and figure out how she's going to get back onto land. Really, really good movie. And the shark even looks good. I was very surprised by this film. I mean, how do you make a film where it's just her? I mean, these two other guys show up, but it's just her trying to survive the shark, basically. They did it. They did a good job. Number 2, The Reef. Amazing movie. Amazing. This boat with these people turns over and it's going to sink, and they decide to go swimming to the nearest island, which I believe is 12 miles. I don't remember the exact distance, but it's a long way. It's to where they can't really even see it. And so they're basically blindly swimming out in the ocean, and they're holding on to these little bodyboards and stuff, and you know, it's a group. A group of people are swimming, and one by one, they start to get taken out by this great white. And what's cool about this movie is they use real great white footage. Real footage of sharks, and they kind of fuse that within the movie so it makes sense. So when you're watching it, it actually looks real, and it is real footage. That was great editing. I loved that. And a lot of times, you know, this movie doesn't show the shark like coming out of the water and like attacking somebody and there's blood and guts. It's not like that at all. This movie is very subtle when it comes to the shark attacks. Someone will get pulled down or someone will get dragged away and you'll see some blood, but that's about it. Like they're very secretive on like you know, showing the shark until like you're underwater and then you see the shark in the distance like following you. That's what I loved about this movie. And they did it, man. This movie is so good. And again, they're out in the middle of the ocean swimming, you know, when it gets dark and stuff. It reminds me of Open Water, but with a great white. Yeah, really suspenseful. Did a good job. That's number 2. Number 1, you could probably figure it out. Jaws. The first Jaws is a classic film, and you know, directed by Steven Spielberg, based on the novel by Peter Benchley, music by John Williams, Roy Scheider. You got Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss, Lorraine Gary, Murray Hamilton. This film is it is just so good. In my opinion, the best shark movie ever made. Nothing can beat it. Nothing to this day. It's just so good. So many memorable scenes. You know, with the shark, who, you know, the shark is like a 25-foot great white in there. You know, the whole beginning, which I always thought the woman was stupid when she's like, "Come out in the water." You know, they're drunk and like the guy's drunk. He's on the beach and he's trying to get undressed, and she's already out in the water swimming naked when it's dark. And she's swimming and she gets pulled under. And that scene where she's like, and she gets pulled under, she starts getting, you know, dragged around and stuff like that. What's interesting about that scene is they talk about that woman when she was filming that. She was getting dragged around back and forth. I think she actually, I don't know if she dislocated something or she actually broke a rib while she was getting dragged around like that. I think she actually broke something. Filming that scene. And there was a lot of complications with this movie. You know, like they made so many sharks that did different things, but the sharks never worked. You know, when they did work, they had to make sure that they shot it, you know, really fast to, you know, get the shot, and then, you know, something would happen. So there was a lot of problems, but a really good story. You know, Chief Brody basically goes out with, you know, Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss out in the boat to catch the shark, because the shark is killing people on the island that they live on, and so they're going to go out and catch it. And they start doing all these tests, you know, with the barrels and stuff, and try to tag it to make sure, you know, where you know where it is. And I love the story that Quint, you know, talks about in the boat, and when it's nighttime, talks about his experience with a shark, and like, that's a creepy story, man. It makes the hairs, you know, raise on your arms. And then, of course, the epic third act, you know, where Quint gets eaten. Very, very, very bloody scene. I remember watching that when I was younger, and it's something I never forget. And then you have, you know, Roy Scheider hanging off the pole of the boat with a gun, and here comes the shark with the tank in its mouth, and he's like, "Smile, you son of a," and he shoots the tank, and the shark explodes. Amazing. I mean, it was an amazing ending. It was so good. And this is a movie that has a lot of great quotes. You know, "We're gonna need a bigger boat." "Smile, you son of a bit." You know, quotes like that, you know right away, oh, that's from Jaws. So this movie has memorable quotes, memorable music, iconic music. a great story, great characters, and that's why it is my favorite all-time #1 shark film. So, there you go. That is my top 5 favorite shark films. And if you want to do a response to this, please do so. If you want to do a top 5, or if you want to do a top 10, or if you can do a top 14 like Chucky Doll, definitely do so. Go check out Chucky Doll. Go subscribe to him if you have not. And yeah, like I said, do a response video if you feel, if you feel like you want to do it. And I thank you very much for watching this, taking the time out of your day to, watch my videos. I really appreciate it. So anyway, this is Rob signing off, and I'll see you guys next time.